Yo, what's good? My name is Alan, also known as 16 Scenes on Instagram, and today I'm going to be showing you how I edit my photos on Lightroom. So, if you want to know how, continue to watch this video. By the way, also sorry I look like a complete mess today. Quarantine has not been going very well, as you can see. Also, quickly reminder, if you have not seen me before, or if this is the first time you've seen me and you want to see more, just subscribe or follow me on Instagram at 16 Scenes right there. Well, let's get into this editing thing. So I took these photos about 2 days ago at this little lake that I found with my mom. We were out just walking. And I took a couple of long exposures of the water just going down. And this is one of the photos that I took. So I'll show you pretty much how I edit my photos. I usually actually just use a preset of mine, if you want to get that link in the description. But today I'll be showing you how I actually edit from scratch and how you get that moody feel. So the first thing we need to do with this photo is to bring down the exposure off, obviously. What we're going to do is, as obviously if you've seen my photos on Instagram, they're very dark and moody. So what I do is I obviously make the around very dark and like the center focus point quite bright. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag the contrast up a bit and drag the highlights down. And for the shadows, you can drag that up a little bit, very little. For the whites, you can drag that up, and for the blacks, drag that up a bit as well. So that's pretty much for the tone. Very little exposure fix and stuff like that, exactly. So for the texture and stuff, I use a lot of clarity. I don't really use texture that much, but I really do use clarity a shit ton, just because it makes it a lot more punchy and just looks a lot better in my opinion. At the tone curve, I always add like a little fade at the end. So if you don't know how the tone curve works, it's just a line, click a point to make the fade. So for the point, we just click here and then drag this up a bit, and this will add a very slight fade, but we don't want to add a very big fade. For the HSL colors, I drag the saturation down for almost every color. Red, orange, and yellow do have a little saturation, but greens, aqua, blue, purple, magenta, I drag all those down. So if we drag all of these down, see that it loses a lot of the color. And we'll drag the reds and the oranges quite far down as well. For this photo, obviously it's a river, so I'm gonna keep a little bit of the blues.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Blues, just like make it look like it's actually river water. Now this is really important, okay? Split toning. Split toning, I use this for every single photo and it just makes it a lot better. So for the highlights, what I do is I drag the highlights to around 205 and then put the saturation at like 10. And for the shadows, I kind of do the same, but go for a little darker, 235, and drag that up to like 4. Sharpening, I really don't mess around with it, but as you can see, it's on 40%, so I'll just leave it there. I don't really touch lens correction. Sometimes I actually use the transform sliders because they actually help quite a lot, but for this one I'm not really sure if we need it. And then post crop vignetting. Okay, vignetting is quite a huge thing in my photos, so we want to drag that down like a lot to about like 30 to 40%. So we'll drag that down quite a lot. And then also what I do is I also do the feather and midpoint. I change those and I put the feather at 100 and then change the midpoint to how I really like it. Now what I'm going to do is, as you can see, the photo isn't really that dark and it's quite bright, so I'll go back to the exposure and drag the exposure down. As you can see, now it looks a lot more dark and the water doesn't really pop that much, so we're gonna so pretty much I lost some of the footage of the Lightroom video, but pretty much what I was talking about is just dragging up the highlights and whites to just make the water pop more. And after that, as you can see, the water just pops a lot more. Now you get a photo that kind of has my style to it. If you like my style, you can kind of copy this little setting way, but if you don't want to do that, just go and get my presets, link in the description, cheeky plug, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how I edit my photos, and then I pretty much just copy and paste these on all the photos. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe for more future videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.